Now let's talk about another war that is not stopping at all, and let's talk about what is happening in Ukraine, because the war in Ukraine has intensified as Donald Trump's frustration with Vladimir Putin is also growing. And let's also take a close look at the evolving and complex dynamics between the United States President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. Recently, Donald Trump openly expressed his frustration with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, saying that we get a lot of BS thrown at us by Putin. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless. These harsh words came just a day before Russia launched its largest ever drone attack on Ukraine last week, sending around about 728 drones and 13 missiles, striking multiple cities. The Ukrainian President Zelensky called it a telling attack, clearly timed to undermine peace efforts. Yet the link between Donald Trump's rhetoric and Putin's military actions is not straightforward. Russia also escalated attacks during periods when Donald Trump was silent or even positive about Putin, reflecting Russia's own strategic objectives rather than direct responses to the United States comments. 5 months ago, Donald Trump had a very different tone, claiming that he trusted Putin and believed that he wanted peace in Ukraine. But now Trump's stance has shifted. He has reversed a pause on weapon shipments to Ukraine and has praised the Ukrainian fighters. The same Ukraine who he had actually, left the Ukrainian president red-faced when he came to the White House, and now he's actually praising the courage of the Ukrainians, and this is signaling a more nuanced approach. Still, Donald Trump has yet to fully commit to tougher sanctions against Russia, despite bipartisan Senate support. His frustration may be genuine, but it's unclear if it will translate into decisive action. Meanwhile, Putin's Russia continues its brutal campaign, launching record drone strikes and slowly seizing more Ukrainian territory. Negotiations remain stalled, with Moscow waiting for Ukraine to propose dates for talks. The French President Emmanuel Macron has vowed that Europe will never abandon Ukraine, reinforcing support alongside the United Kingdom and others. Donald Trump's public break with Putin may be a turning point, one long overdue, reflecting the harsh reality that Putin might be unpersuadable and the war grinds on with devastating human costs. The US-Russia relationship is volatile and unpredictable, but recent shifts suggest growing US impatience with Russia. Will this impatience result in a surge in the United States support for Ukraine and harsher sanctions on Russia remains to be seen. Some say that Donald Trump's new tough language could also be an attempt to put pressure on the Russian leader amid the new Russian offensive into Ukraine. This war has been going into its third year now, and it has actually caused massive life losses. Millions of people have lost their lives on both sides of the border. It has completely hampered the global economy, especially the energy front. One of the reasons why the global economy is grim is because one of the major reasons is basically the conflict, which is now going into a way where it's going to be unending. The world really needs to put its act together, really needs to rein in both the sides, whether it's Ukraine or Russia, and needs to put an end to this crisis, because when it is always said that a war is started by human beings, but when it gets too nasty, like how the Ukraine and Russian war has become, it gets impossible for the humans to actually stop this, and the world is now afraid.